from BS and Math 3B, allow me to introduce the members of our group. My name is Edmian Tibagain. We have here Ana Micaela Magpayo, Kathleen Joy Salas, Bernard Hipolito, Richmond Banistela, Claire Garagasin, Daniela de Guzman, and Joseph Ayala. Now that you are all familiar with us, let us start the presentation. Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me. Our study is entitled Microsoft Excel Integration in Annuities and Amortization, MIAA or MEA, enhancing motivation and academic performance for pre-service mathematics teachers. Today, I will explain the research of our study or the research gap of our study. Next. Next. Claire. Okay, so according to Refigio et al. 2020, students often struggle when solving annuities or solving annuity problems on their own, particularly in choosing the right formula. According also, sabi din ni De Villiers Tredom, 2021, even financial professionals, okay, they have difficulty understanding core annuity concepts. Based on this, makikita natin na both academically and professionally, annuities remains a challenge. So from our local investigation, we discovered additional problems as well. Students rely heavily on manual computation, which leads to confusion and boredom. Align ito sa study ni UC 2022. Also, it was also revealed that the topic of amortization is rarely discussed in the school year due to time constraints. Additionally, Microsoft Excel, a tool known for simplifying financial calculation, is not yet integrated into the current teaching of the mathematics of investment. However, most students responded positively when asked if they would be open to using Excel as a learning tool. Looking at all this existing literature, we found a major gap. While many studies support the use of Excel in financial mathematics and statistics, this is according to Mule 2023 and Chusna et al. 2022, very few studies focus specifically on the teaching of annuities and amortization using Excel. Furthermore, there are no known studies that measure how Microsoft Excel motivation, academic performance, and student perception specifically among pre-service mathematics teachers. This gap highlights the need for an intervention like ours or like MEA. That is why the purpose of our study is to test whether Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization or MEA can improve students' motivation, enhance their academic performance. Lastly, what are their perceptions or what are the perceptions of pre-service mathematics teachers about the integration of Microsoft Excel in the mathematics education or in learning annuities and amortization. In summary, we hope through MEA, we aim to improve all of those mentioned. Okay, that will be it. Let's welcome Anna Micaela for Kathleen Joy Salas for the theoretical framework.
So for our theoretical framework, we have the realistic mathematics education and the computer-based instruction. So this serves as the backbone of our study. And to better understand the connection of these theories to our study, let's proceed to our conceptual framework. So the core of our research is the MEA that serve as our independent variable, and this intervention was grounded or supported by two theoretical foundations, the realistic mathematics education and the computer-based instruction. And this framework supported the use of technology in enhancing the learning experience, especially sa pag-relate ng mathematical concepts sa real-life situations and sa pag-deliver ng instruction through interactive digital tools. And this intervention was intended to positively impact the following dependent variables: the student motivation, student performance in solving problems involving annuities and amortization, and the student perceptions in learning annuities and amortization. And next, for our statement of the problems. So for SOP 1, we have the What is the student's level of motivation in learning annuities and amortization before using Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization, and after using Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization? For SOP2, is there a significant difference in students' motivation in learning annuities and amortization before and after Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization? And for SOP3, what is the student's academic performance in learning annuities and amortization before using MEA and after using MEA? So for SOP4, is there a significant difference in students' academic performance in learning annuities before and after MEA? And for SOP5, what are the students' perceptions towards the integration of MEA? For the null hypothesis, we have there is no significant difference in students' motivation and academic performance in learning annuities and amortization before and after using MEA, and the alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in students' motivation and academic performance in learning annuities and amortization before and after using MEA.
Okay, now let's proceed for the data gathering procedure. We have three phases here. We have the pre-implementation phase, implementation phase, and post-implementation phase. Next slide po. For pre-implementation phase, we ask the first-year students kung saan sila nahihirapan na topic sa mathematics of investment. And most of the and to determine to identify the specific topics, we conducted an online survey, and most of the students answered the topics of annuities. And sinali na rin po namin yung topics na amortization because in the past academic year, hindi po siya na-cover, particularly sa practical applications po ng dalawang topic na to in real life finances po. So to address this gap, we propose the study of MEA, Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization, to improve the students' motivation and also to reduce the cognitive overload of the students to enhance the problem-solving skills. To guide our instructional planning, we formulate a precise and measurable learning objectives and table of specification that aligns with our intended outcomes. And so following this, we also constructed an 80 items test questionnaire. It is also validated by the two experts. And after the several revisions of our test items, according to the feedback of the expert, we proceeded to the pilot testing. And dun po, makikita natin yung mga na-retain and mga na-revise po at yung mga naka-reject. So, after that, we also created a DLP, detailed lesson plan, for our guide to our intervention, and also exemplar to guide our topic about amortization, and it is also checked by professional teacher. And also, we utilize the Microsoft Excel as a main tool for teaching annuities and amortization because it has an ability to input and process data automatically, and also it has a wide range para mag-create ng mga tables, graphs, and other visual aids na makakatulong sa visualization ng isang estudyante. So after the several days of continuous revisions sa intervention namin, we successfully formulate or develop our Excel-based material that is user-friendly, easily accessible from any device. Pwede siyang ma-access sa laptop, sa cellphone, or tablet. And it is also functionally even without use of internet. And for implementation phase naman, we have five meetings here. For first meeting, we administer the MMQ, the Mathematics Motivation Questionnaire, to assess the level of motivations of the students about the topics of annuities and amortization before namin i-introduce yung intervention namin. And following this, we also conducted a pretest to evaluate the initial academic performance of the students on that specific topics. For the second meeting naman, uh, uh, diniscuss namin yung mga i-cover na topic namin about sa basic concept ng annuities, also yung mga methods para mag-solve ng mga word problems involving simple and general annuities. So, sa second meeting po namin, ito po ay na-discuss during online session po. And to support the students' comprehension po, the Microsoft Excel Integration in Annuities and Amortization or MEA is nagamit din po siya through teaching as a teaching tool para po ma-demonstrate po sa kanila kung paano ba to na-i-integrate sa classroom po para ma-enhance yung visually po rin, yung visual po nila, kung nakikita po yung cash flow at gaano po lumalaki yung pera po nila at saan po nanggagaling yung mga pera nila. And the third meeting naman po, morning session po, nag-review po kami ng mga lessons about simple and general annuities po. And para po ma-review sila, nagpa-solve po kami ng mga some examples po na word problems on the board po para i-solve po nila. And also nag-address din po kami ng mga questions or concerns po nila para dun po sa topic na annuities para less confusion po. And after po ng review part, diniscuss na rin po namin yung topic na amortization, including yung concepts at saka yung real life situation nila kung paano po nag-work yung amortization in everyday situation. And also the integration of MEA po was also used to help the students better understand the process and calculations of amortization po. And on the fourth meeting po, in the afternoon po, same day, nagkaroon po kami ng mga recitation sa mga estudyante wherein magsosolve po sila ng mga word problems po doon sa board. And also, kung sino ba yung estudyante na may pinakamaraming points, makaka-receive po siya ng reward as a recognition. After po ng recitations po, na-conduct din po namin yung interview with 3 selected students na yung highest sa pretest, average sa pretest, at saka yung low score sa pretest. And also in addition po, yung open-ended questions po is sinagutan din po ng mga lahat ng estudyante parang through written po as a exit ticket. For the fifth meeting po, dito na po namin yung final meeting po namin which we administer post-test po which was parallel to the pre-test po to assess the students' progress in academic performance po sa annuities and amortization. And also, we conducted also the MMQ, same set of questions to evaluate any changes of the student's level motivation. And also, lastly, the perception checklist were also administered to collect the students' perspectives on using MEA. And for post-implementation naman po, that yung all collected data from the pre-test, post-test, students' perception checklist, and MMQ were tabulated using Excel spreadsheets. For open-ended questions naman po, ito po ay na-analyze using qualitative content analysis po. And let me call on for data analysis po. Results and discussion. Richmond.
So good afternoon, everyone. So for our results, first one is our MMQ or Mathematics Motivation Questionnaires. So here, we have the students' level of motivation before MEA. So we have here 5 domains, which are intrinsic value, self-regulation, self-efficacy, utility value, and lastly, the test anxiety. So the intrinsic value had a mean of 2.67 with the standard deviation of 0.97, and its description is neutral, and in terms of interpretation, it is moderate. As well as the self-regulation, it has a mean of 2.68 with the standard deviation of 0.98, and it is also neutral. And in terms of interpretation, it is also moderate. And then in terms of self-efficacy, it is the mean is 2.46 with the standard deviation of 0.80, and its description is disagree, and it has low in terms of interpretation. So in terms of utility value, we have a mean of 3.07 with standard deviation of 0.85 with a neutral description, and its interpretation is moderate. And in terms of test anxiety, the original mean is 3.80. However, since test anxiety is negatively correlated to motivation, reverse coding was applied to match the direction of the other dimensions. So, so that it will not affect as well to the overall mean score of the students. So after doing the reverse coding, it has a mean of 2.5 with a standard deviation of 1.0, but it has the same description and interpretation, which is agree and high. So overall, the student's level of motivation before MEA is, in terms of its description, is neutral, and in terms of interpretation, it is moderate. So let's proceed now to the level of students' motivation after the MEA. So here, for intrinsic value, we have a mean of 4.69 with a standard deviation of 0.51, and it has a strongly agree in terms of its description, and in terms of its interpretation, it is very high, as well as the self-regulation with a mean of 4.43, and self-efficacy with a mean of 4.53 as well, and then utility value is 4.54, and we did the we do the reverse coding as well for test anxiety after the motivation. So the original mean was 1.63, but after doing it, it reveals a mean score of 4.37. And overall, the level of students' motivation after MEA is 4.50 with a standard deviation of 0.62. And it shows that in terms of description, it's strongly agree, and in terms of interpretation, it's very high. So now let's proceed to the difference in students' motivation before and after MEA. So we use Shapiro-Wilk test to test the normality of uh, the before MEA and after the MMQ. So in before MEA, it reveals a p-value of 0.972, but the scores after the intervention were not normally distributed, which is equal to 0.032. So that is why we use the Wilcoxon sign rank test. So here, after the MEA intervention, all 17 students showed higher motivation scores, and no one had a lower score after the intervention. Then the test result gave a p-value of less than 0.01, and since it's smaller than 0.05, it means there is a highly significant difference. And the z-value of negative 3.621 reflects how big the change was and in what direction. So where the negative signs indicate an increase in terms of their scores or mean scores in the MMQ. So this clearly shows that the MEA actively help improve the students' motivation in positive way. So with that, we will reject the null hypothesis. So now let's proceed to students' academic performance. I will call on now Claire Gergasen.
So again, good afternoon, everyone. Now let us proceed to the academic performance for the SOP3, which to determine the student's academic performance in learning, annuities, and amortization. So in here, as we can see that before MEA, it is this table 6 shows the student's academic performance before MEA. So in this table, we can see the results of their pretest, where in their pretest, it was we have three categories or three topics, which is the simple annuities, general annuities, and amortization. So in total, we have a total of 17 students. And for the number of items for simple annuities, we have 7 items, which has a mean of 2.88 and with a standard deviation of 1.27. So the minimum scores that student got from 1B is 1, and the maximum score was 5. While on general annuities, we have a total of 9 items with the mean scores. The mean scores of students is 3.47 with a standard deviation of 1.28. So the minimum score in general annuities was 1 and the maximum score was 6. And for the topic for amortization, we have a total of 14 items. So the mean scores of students on the topic amortization was 4.71 with a standard deviation of 1.51, and the minimum score was 3 and the maximum score was 8. So overall, we have a total of 30 items, and with the mean score of the students, which is 10.29 with a standard deviation of 2.41 and the minimum score of 7 and a maximum score of 16. So that is the students' academic performance before MEA. Now, let's proceed in the students' academic performance after MEA. So for the post-test, we also have the same number of items. And for simple annuities, the mean scores of the students out of the 7 items was 4.29 with a standard deviation of 1.05. And the mean score was, minimum score was 2 and the maximum score of 6. While on general annuities, the mean score was 5.53 and with a standard deviation of 1.07. And the minimum score was 4 with a maximum score of 7. And while on the topic amortization, the mean score of the students on the post test was 6 and the standard deviation was 2.26 with a mean score of 3, minimum score of 3 and a maximum score of 12. So overall, as we can see, the mean scores of the students on their overall test was 15.82 with a standard deviation of 2.72 and the minimum score was 11 with a maximum score of 23 out of the 30 item test. So we can see in here on table 8, which is to answer SOP4, which is to determine whether there is a significant difference in students' academic performance before and after MEA. So in here, as we can see, we will compare the mean scores before and after MEA. So on simple annuities, from 2.88, it became 4.29. For general annuity, we have 3.47 to 5.53. And for amortization, from 4.71, it became 6.00. And for the parametric test that we did, since the distribution of data is normally distributed according to the Shapiro-Wilk test, so we will use the parametric test, which is the paired sample t-test. So the t-value for the simple annuity is negative 3.59 with a p-value of 0.002, which led to the rejection of null hypothesis. And for general annuity, we have a t-value of negative 6.80 with a p-value of less than 0.01, which highly suggests there is a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test of the students before and after MEA on the general annuities topic, which led to the rejection of null hypothesis. While on the amortization, the p-value was negative 3.64 with a p-value of 0.02, which also led to the rejection of null hypothesis, which suggests that there was a significant difference between the pre-test and post-test of the students on the topic amortization. So overall, the mean score before MEA was 10.29, and after MEA, it became 15.82. And the parent sample t-test, so we have the value for t, which is negative 10.44 with a p-value of less than 0.01, which means that it is less than the 0.05 value, which indicates that there is a high significant difference of students' academic performance before and after MEAS on all the three topics, which suggests that we should reject the null hypothesis. So that concludes the results on the academic performance. Thank you. And also, sorry for the this is the histogram for the pre-test and post-test scores. So as you can see, the blue bar the blue bar is the pre-test and the red was the post-test scores. So as you can see, each student significantly improved in each on their scores in their pre-test and post-test. So let's proceed to the students' perception.
So now let's proceed to the results of the students' level of perception in MEA. So for quantitative part, from the Likert scale questionnaires, here are the results. So we have 4 dimensions here. We have the interactive engagement, problem solving skills, interest, and feedback. So for interactive engagement, we have a mean of 4.68. Standard deviation is 0.49, and the description is very high with a very positive interpretation. So for problem solving, we have the mean of 4.65 with a standard deviation of 0.48 with a very high description and a very positive interpretation as well. So for interest, it has a mean of 4.60 with standard deviation of 0.49. And in terms of its description, we got a very high, and in terms of interpretation, it is very positive. And then for feedback, we have a mean of 4.40, standard deviation of 0.89 with a very high description and very positive in terms of its interpretation. So overall, among all dimensions, we got a very high, or it got a very high description and a very, very positive interpretation. So next. So here is the summary of students' perception of MEA. So here we can see the overall mean, which is 4.58 with a standard deviation of 0.62. In terms of its description, it is very high, and it has a very positive interpretation. So overall students' perception in MEA is highly positive. So that's all for the students' perception in terms of quantitative part. So now let's proceed to the qualitative part.
So based on the interviews and open-ended questions, these are the tips showing the students' perceptions about MEA. So first, we have enhanced understanding and learning. So Microsoft Excel can enhance students' understanding on financial subjects, especially on amortization and annuities. So one student stated that mas madaling naintindihan yung mga problems kasi mas nakikita nila yung flow. So which is good for visualization. Sabi rin ng isang student, nakakatulong yung Microsoft Excel sa manual computation niya. Then these statements aligned to the study of Mahmoud 2024 stated that Microsoft Excel is a better option when it comes to visualizing data because of it is user friendly and it intuitive designs which creates attractive visual aids for their better understanding. Then we have here ease and convenience. So the students said that Microsoft Excel can compute and give answer very quick. One student stated that using Microsoft Excel, you can see the answer very quick and it can use for checking your answer. But Microsoft Excel is hindi lang siya easy to use. It provides also the conveniency. Then one student stated that Excel can give accurate answer and it is convenient to use. So these statements aligns to the study of Jan 2015 stating that kapag yung information technology is nabibigay niya or compatible siya dun sa mga needs ng students, mas nagkakaroon sila ng positive intention to use the tool that makes it effective for them on teaching and learning. So next we have here the flexibility. So Microsoft Excel is also a flexible device as it not only for financial courses but it can also use on different fields. So the student stated that it is helpful due to its flexibility. She stated that ginagamit din yung Microsoft Excel sa iba't ibang fields and ito yung dahilan kaya masasabi natin na flexible yung Microsoft Excel. So because of its wide range of uses. And according to the study of Lee Glass 2007, Microsoft Excel has wide range of features that makes Excel flexible for managing, organizing, and integrating different types of data. So lastly, the usability challenges of Microsoft Excel on mobile phone. So Microsoft Excel has still challenge on using it. According to the students, hindi detailed yung Microsoft Excel sa mobile phone. And also, students said that the screen is too small to see the process and answer. So students got confused on the columns and nalilito rin sila sa pag-i-input ng mga given kaya nagkakamali sila. And according to the study of Alas Marie 2020, a small screen can make difficult to read long text or understand the graphs and chart. And on the study of Al-Ghamdi et al. 2016, limited processing power and screen quality that can make it difficult to use the learning materials effectively. So this proves that Microsoft Excel or even Microsoft Excel is compatible to the mobile phones. Students still prefer to use laptop or bigger size screen and bigger storage kasi less lag and mas nakikita nila ng detalyado yung process. And last, one student got confused because of its different features because it is her first time on using Microsoft Excel, but she added na kailangan pa nilang ma-engage sa tool or sa Microsoft Excel para mas ma-improve nila yung paggamit nito. So, for our conclusion, may I call on Daniela. Share.
Well, the study had 4 major limitations. First, it used a restricted sample of pre-service teachers at one institution, which may limit the generalizability of the findings to other educational contexts or populations. Second, it focused specifically on Microsoft Excel, application to annuities and amortization, leaving out other financial mathematical concepts or topics. Third, while students showed proper formula usage and problem visualization, minor computational errors still occurred, especially in manual calculation. And lastly, due to time constraint, no additional respondents were approached and the small sample size made it difficult to generalize to the findings.
Okay, now let's have our conclusion. So based from the post-test scores of the student from 1B, they got a passing score compared to their pre-test score. So we can conclude that there is a significant difference on their academic performance before and after the intervention. While for their motivation, they showed higher degree of motivation and they were also enthusiastic about the intervention. Therefore, we can conclude that that there is a significant difference on students' motivation before and after the implementation of MAIA. And lastly, the student perceive Microsoft Excel as a handy and practical tool in learning annuities and motivation. So therefore, we can reject the null hypothesis that we can reject the null hypothesis and accept the um, and therefore we can conclude that there is a significant difference on academic performance and motivation of the students before and after MAIA. And that is for our intervention, Microsoft Excel integration in annuities and amortization, enhancing motivation and academic performance of pre-service mathematics teachers.
So now we're open for any clarifications and suggestions. Thank you.
Dito sa ano nyo, SOP2, di ba, is there significant difference in students' motivation, in learning annuities, and amortization before and after? Gumamit kayo ng Wilcoxon?
Yes po, sir. Since hindi po normally distributed yung pong mga data scores nung after po.
Ano yung ginamit nyo to test kung normally distributed ba siya?
Yung pong Shapiro-Wilk test, sir.
Nasaan yung results nyo doon?
Nasa paper po, sir, yung pong p-value po nung una ay 0.972, yung pong mga scores before po, and then nung pong after naging ano po siya 0.032.
972.
Opo, 0.972 and then 0.032 po. Kaya po yung isa hindi siya normally distributed kaya gumamit po kami ng Wilcoxon, sir.
O, ilagay nyo lang din siya sa ano, no? Table na separate para makita ka agad. Kumbaga parang prerequisite siya before, you know, i-add.
Saan po namin siya
01.
part na lalagay, sir? Yung table po na yun.
Okay naman dito sa ano, sa SOP, sa results, SOP2, bago yung table 5.
Bago po table 5. Sige po,
Oo.
sir. Bale, another
Tines
table.
lang siya.
Opo, another table po na yung pong sa Shapiro-Wilk test po na, sir.
Oo, separate na table siya. Di ba may results naman sa ano?
Sige po, sir. Noted po, sir.
Oo, kasi hindi man na klaro dito sa part na to, since the mean scores before the intervention were normally distributed but the scores after the intervention were not normally distributed. Ayun, hindi man na-indicate sa part na to yung Shapiro-Wilk na ginamit to test dun sa interpretation. So, ilagay nyo lang yung mismong table din para kita na Shapiro-Wilk nga ginamit nyo.
Sige po, sir.
SOP3. What's the student's academic performance in learning annuities? Simple annuities, mean. 2.88, 1.27. So, basically, barely passing pa rin yung score nila, no? Kasi kung interpret mo, out of 30 items, 15.82. So, yung mean score, pumasa, pero meron yung minimum nyo is 11. So, that means meron pa rin na hindi pumasa doon sa test after the intervention. Hindi pa rin na ano, yung iba. Yeah, siguro kanaya. Ilan to? 17 yung mga respondents nyo.
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
17. Okay. Tapos, saan na? Three. Doon sa ano, less than 0.01. Oo. Okay. Simple annuity. Lahat sila ay reject null hypothesis. Okay. Tapos, nag-t-test kayo at chinek nyo yung Shapiro-Wilk 0.1. They are both. Ayun nga, para mas makita agad no kung ginamit ay kung tinest siya for normality, ilagay niyo yung table din. Sa SOP4, same case doon sa ano no. SOP1. Ay, SOP2, I mean.
Bali, SOP2 and SOP4 po na.
Oo, ilagay niyo yung table ng ano, yung results ng Shapiro-Wilk test. Nakalagay ba sa ano niyo, data analysis part niyo na ano siya ano, iti-test siya each, kumbaga yung sa SOP2 separate yun sa SOP4?
Yes. Yes.
Ano po ulit, sir? Pwedeng paulit po.
Ito. To compare. Depending on the normality. Kaso, paano mo malaman yung normality? So, indicate nyo rin. Kasi dito sa nakalagay sa data analysis part nyo sa methodology, to compare the mean score before and after the researchers applied either the paired sample t-test or the Wilcoxon sign rank test depending on the normality of the data. Pero hindi nakalagay kung how would you test the normality for SOP1? Baka kasi magkaiba yung ginamit nyo doon sa SOP4. Yung SOP4, nakalagay naman nga, the researchers determined the normality using Shapiro-Wilk. Lagay nyo na lang din sa SOP1 doon sa data analysis na ginamit nyo si Shapiro-Wilk. Or, mas maganda, parang sa data analysis kasi, nakalagay dyan kung paano nyo inanalyze. So that means it is past tense na siya. Bale, dito sa data analysis part, habang sinusulat nyo siya, ang assumption dyan is nagawa nyo na yung analysis habang sinusulat nyo to. Kasi yun yung what really happened. Yun yung pinagkaiba ng proposal na part, yung proposal na data analysis at saka sa final manuscript, yung data analysis procedure. Dito, yung nakalagay dito is yung ginawa nyo na lahat. So, hindi naman natin kailangan ilagay na yung depending on the normality of the data. Instead, lagay nyo na tinest nyo siya tinest nyo yung normality ng data using Shapiro-Wilk test, and the results showed na yun nga, hindi siya normally distributed yung isa sa mga datasets. Kaya gumamit kayo ng Wilcoxon. Tapos sa SOP4, gumamit kayo ng Shapiro-Wilk din, and then it turns out na normally distributed siya. Okay. And then i-reiterate nyo na lang din siya doon sa results para maliwanag na yun nga yung results. Normally distributed, hindi normally distributed yung SOP1 while yung sa SOP4 normally distributed siya. Mas kasi pag binabasa pa lang yung part na to, yung sa una, to compare the mean score before and after the researchers applied either the paired sample or Wilcoxon depending on the normality. What did you use to check for normality? So yun lang, i-add nyo dyan sa data analysis part. Nakita nyo ba?
Okay po, sir. Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Tapos, sister significant, perception. So tayo sa perceptions. Level of perception. Quanti. O yung quanti. Very high, very positive perceptions. Okay. Nakalagay ba sa Nakalagay ba doon sa data analysis niyo yung yung ayan 1 to 1.79 low. Yun pa lang sa SOP1, di ba meron kayong question doon? Di ba reverse coded kasi yung test anxiety?
Yes po, sir.
Na-indicate nyo ba dito sa data analysis kung paano yun?
Ano na lang po sabihin namin, sir. May
Na-
sa chapter, ano na po namin siya.
O yun nga, dito sa data analysis, dapat nakalagay
Yes,
din
sir.
yun.
Add
Na one of the dimensions of the MMQ is reverse coded and is interpreted differently. Pag kumbaga, lagay nyo yung separate table na yun kung paano nyo interpret yung part na yun. Oo. Yung test anxiety na naka-asterisk. Ilagay nyo na lang din dito sa sa data analysis.
Sige po, sir.
Oo. Para basically doon iba yung interpretation sa test anxiety kasi reverse coded yung mga items doon. Tapos ulit tayo sa perceptions. Anong ginamit nyo pang analyze ng ay sa qualitative? Ginamit nyo yung Max QDA?
Hindi man po, sir. Nagkano po kami yung bali yung from responses po nila, and then yun po nagpatulong na din. Yung gumawa po kami ng sarili namin mga parang yun po, and then nagpatulong po kay AI, then yun po, hanggang inalign po namin kung ano po yung pinaka po talaga connected, then hanggang na-farm pati yung mga content po.
O so paano nyo i-elaborate sa data analysis yun? Paano nyo ginawa yung thematic analysis?
Sige po, sir. Add nyo lang po na.
Add nyo na lang din kung paano yung procedure. Kung gumamit kayo ng AI, maybe you need to also include that sa ethical considerations if you used AI for that for the processing ng ng transcripts. Kasi baka maging concern din yun sa data privacy kapag na may mga pangalan na nakalagay doon. Inalis naman yung mga names nila bago nyo i-process.
Opo, sir. Then, bali po sa mga responses nila, and nagano lang po kami, like parang ginawa po siya naming guide, then yun po. Parang hindi man po totally yun yung namin, yung sa thematic analysis po namin. Like, parang
Keywords
naging
lang
guide.
yun,
Opo.
sir? Keywords lang yung in-input namin sa AI to generate the themes, the key themes po ng thematic analysis. Di naman po siya yung ano nila, yung name nila or
What do you mean keywords?
Parang transcript lang po siya, sir. Yung parang pinagsama-sama po kunwari, sir, sa mga responses po nila is kung ano po yung parang same lang po halos ng thought. Then parang pinagsama-sama lang din po namin. Then doon po namin siya parang nagpa-help po kay AI, sir.
So kayo yung nag-code? Or parang nagbigay ng, kunwari, yung mga, di ba, thematic analysis, mag-highlight ka ng mga
Yes po, sir.
parts, no, bawat sentence na sinabi nila, i-assign nyo ng code. Tapos, pinaano nyo kay AI, ganun ba yung ginawa nyo?
Opo, sir.
Then,
Okay.
yun pong response niya, ayun po, inano lang po namin kung ano po talaga yung pinaka-connected ko. Inayos na lang po namin siya.
Anong AI yung ginamit nyo? Anong AI tool yung ginamit nyo?
Ano po, sir, chat GPT.
Isa lang yung tinry nyo?
Nag-try rin po kami sa, yung pong dalawa po, sir. Bali po yung isa, sir, yung other AI po na yung pong deficit po, sir.
Di baka meron kasing, kasi kung in reality, kapag nagko-code ka, tapos kukunin yung mga themes, more than one person yung yung nagbibigay ng themes, tapos i-compare natin yun kung meron bang alignment sa mga themes na na-uncover nila. Kasi minsan sumasobra yung themes, kaya tatanggalin. Pag ano pa yan, debatehan pa yan minsan. Pero in your case, since gumamit kayo ng AI, I think maganda rin na i-compare nyo yung kunwari output ni Gemini or output ng ibang yung mga available na free na AI tools.
Yes po, sir.
Ibigay nyo yung same na prompt tapos try nyo sa kanila kung ano yung mga themes na makukuha nila. Baka may para ma-check kung same ba or merong differences. Para lang kasi syempre yun nga, nag-AI na nga tayo pa. Kaso minsan, di ba, nag-hallucinate yung mga ganyan, hindi accurate 100%. So, para naman may ma-justify na rin na kung nag-AI nga kayo, at least kapag more than one source yung tinry nyo, consistent yung results, reliable siya. So, enhanced understanding and learning, mas madali maintindihan. Okay. Ease and convenience. Flexibility. Okay. Oh, yun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kasi mamaya meron pang ibang themes na na-overlook nyo. Perhaps. So, ipaano nyo na rin. Hingi kayo sa second opinion sa ibang AI tools para ma-check natin kung talagang yun nga. O baka may
Yes po, sir.
dagdag pa dyan. No, may pwede pang ihabol dyan. Okay. Yun na naman sa akin so far. Sir Noel, meron po kayong feedback, sir?
Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello po, sir.
Kuwan ba? Medyo maingay dito sa lugar ko. Naririnig ba yung mga noise? Kahanap ako ng...
Audible naman po kayo, sir.
Okay naman siya. Clear? Clear ang audio?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Kaya hindi ako mahanap nung nagde-deliver. Kuwan kasi ako. Ambulance. Or nasa ibang lugar. Nomad pala. Kaya pina-online ko dahil hindi ako pwedeng magpunta ng school. At sige. Yung sa inyo, yung sa 17 na participants. O ang mga hinahanap ko unang-una, yung mga data yung mga tally, mga raw data, katulad ng, para ma-verify ko kasi that's one way of verifying your results, yung mga data. Hindi ko mahanap kasi yung mga data nyo. Di ba may Excel yan? Parang sa item analysis, this is true to all. Yung mga basta you gather quantitative data from your participants. Yung parang sa item analysis, may participant 1, tapos yung response niya dun sa item 1, ano yung response niya. O nawala na dito yung open-ended na portion ng test ninyo, lahat 1 na lang siya. Multiple choice. Tama
Yes,
ba?
po, sir.
Yes.
Yes, po, sir.
Okay. Pwede naman kasi yung open-ended Kailangan hanap lang kayo ng justification. Winala nyo na yung open-ended. So lahat multiple choice na lang para madali. May mga constructed response naman kasi na either correct or wrong. Ang mga option, iba-iba kasi depende dun sa mga source nyo. Medyo kinulang kayo dun sa ganong aspect ng paghahanap ng mga relevant studies that incorporate open-ended tasks and how to numerically assign a rating for this. Kasi ayaw nyo yung may rubric, sabi nyo ayaw nyo. It's either correct or wrong. So hanap lang kayo, hindi kayo nakapaghanap. Kaya tinanggal na lang. Pero ang dami na available. Okay, so ang tapos, gumawa ba kayo ng panibagong test? Or is it the same test as the beginning?
Yes po, sir. Bali po nanggaling po sa yung pong pina-pilot po namin and then pina-validate po namin yung mga questionnaires. And then ganun din po yung yung naging feedback sa amin.
Ano yung pina-validate yung mga test? Pagka-test kasi, it's the cognitive test na that I'm referring to. Yung pre-test, post-test. Yung mga questionnaire kasi, usually ito yung mga non-cognitive. Likert type na instrument or statement. O yung sa test, sinong nag-validate nitong test nyo? Yung sa content niya?
Bali po, sir, dalawa po sir. Po, sir, si Ma'am Josima po yung isa. Dalawa po silang may master's degree po, tsaka si Ma'am Noela Gem po.
Si?
Ma'am Noela Gem po, De La Cruz.
Nagtuturo ng subject na to sa college natin.
As si Ma'am Ren po, nag-ano din po siya. Nag-check din po siya sa mga po namin, sa mga...
Sinek ba niya yung test nyo?
Ano po, sir?
Sinek ba niya yung inyong test?
Yes po, sir. Yung pong po namin, pre-test and post-test, pati po yung mga questions po doon, sir. Meron po kami yung paper na pirmado na po ni Ma'am Ren.
Sige. So ilan ba yung items na create ninyo initially? Yung first version, first draft?
Noong pong una, sir, 80 items po siya nun, sir. And then yun nga po yung mga, inano po namin yung mga na-retain na lang po. Ganun po, sir.
Ilan? Ilan ulit?
80 items po. 80 items po, sir.
Nasa maingay akong lugar, sorry ha.
Sige
Kung masyadong marinig. How many?
80 items po, sir.
So 80.
Yes po, sir. 80 po.
80. O sige, did you also prepare a table of specification for this test?
Yes po, sir. Meron po din kami, sir.
Naka-append ba ito? Itong COS ninyo? Yung initial?
Ito po sir,
In-append nyo ba?
yung pong TOS na nakalagay na lang po namin sir is yung pong 60 items na na-retain po sir, and then yung pang pre-test and pang post-test po sir. Lagay na lang po namin siya sir. Meron din po kami ng para po sa TOS ng sa 80 items po sir.
O tapos nasan yung result ng item analysis nito? Itong test na ito. Yung graph, yung first version. Where is it? Where's the result of the item analysis? Pakisend nyo nga. I have to verify kasi hindi ko siya na... I have to check. Kaya sa research ang ginagawa nyo it should be verifiable. Ito yung sinabi nyo. We have to check whether what you're claiming is really accurate. So nasaan yung result nyo? Should be appended as a separate file. Yung mga nasa Excel.
Sige po.
All groups So kasi kapag ka-develop nito, you should have undergone or you should have conducted item analysis. Did you conduct an item analysis?
Yes
Hello?
po, sir. Nasa Excel po siya, sir. Ipakita po namin, sir. Pwede po i-flash na lang po sa laptop, sir.
You append. You include all these files doon sa folder. Actually, doon sa folder niyo, pwede kayong gumawa ng sarili niyo pang folder, parang group 1. Tapos lahat ng mga attachment nakalagay roon. Doon sa folder na yon. Hello, could you speak louder? Medyo marami kasing mga bata rito sa school.
Ay, sige. I-upload na lang po namin ngayon po, sir. Saglit lang po.
So, it's true to all gawa kayo ng separate folder nyo dun sa folder ng section ninyo. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Tapos ina-append nyo na lang, ina-attach nyo na lang doon yung mga kailangan namin na banggitin. Okay. Na-verify, tinitingnan ko naman yung mga source ninyo. Mukha namang verifiable na yung mga source. Congratulations, Dati kasi, hindi ko sila mahanap. Iba yung title or iba yung mga author. So, mukha naman ng verifiable yung mga source nyo ngayon. Yun na lang, yung sa ginawa ninyong test, ang kailangan i-verify. Kasi doon, nakabase yung inyong mga results, doon sa mga instrument ninyo. Okay, so yung una, motivation. Tapos, may mga subparts ang mga yon or subcomponents. So, 17 lang pala yung mga participants nyo. Konti lang sila, That may be a limitation. Tapos, okay, motivation in terms of mean scores, yung mga nakalagay. Okay, and then yung pangalawa, yung kanilang scores sa test. Ito yung kanilang parang performance Sige. I also noticed that the scores of the students are low. Hindi ko alam bakit mababa pa rin naman Even though there is, eto pala, ito ang kulang sa mga to, may statistical significance you also determine the practical significance, the effect size of the treatment.
Ano po yung paulit po? Pwedeng paulit po, sir. Medyo choppy lang po.
Okay, I'm sorry. yung mga results, yung mga statistical test ninyo ng significance, you found out statistically significant different results in terms of achievement, in terms of motivation. Tama? Ganun din yung sa performance in terms of simple
Yes,
annuity.
Yes
Pa
po,
isa.
sir.
Tatlo yan
General annuities po and amortization po, sir.
General at saka amortization. May significant difference naman
Yes po,
but
sir.
although may significant difference, please quantify also the magnitude of the effect size or the magnitude of the practical significance. Ito yung effect size. So may mga effect size na Cohen D kung quantitative yan. Hindi ko alam dun sa parametric. Pakitanong nyo na lang yung AI na kayang sagutin yan. Ano nga ba ang pwedeng gamiting effect size dun sa ginamit nyong, did you use the Wilcoxon signed rank test?
Yes po, sir. Para po sa MNQ po, sir. And then for example, test po sa po, sir, sa academic performance po nila.
Sa academic performance yung paired sample test.
Yes po, sir.
Normal naman ang distribution. Although ang requirement din kasi sa parametric test, lalo na sa T, may required number din yan If I'm not mistaken, 30 yung ganon. Paki-check nyo nga kung applicable pa rin yung minimum. I think na may minimum number of sample size yan para sa paired sample test is 17 enough na ba? Paki-verify nyo na lang Tapos, yung effect size nga nito, ano ang applicable na gamitin is the effect of your intervention, small, medium, or large. Mga ganun yan. Pakidagdag na rin sa ibang mga groups yan para may magnitude din. Kasi kung titingnan nyo rito, parang anliit lang ng difference nila. Tapos yung overall, sige, para makuha din natin siya, ma-compare natin. So yung mga mean scores niyo, yun na lang kasi ang meron kayo Ang mga kwan na ba yan, mga mean scores, wala na ba silang categories? Yun na kinategorize. Patulad doon sa motivation, di ba? May description sila kapag ang mean nila ay ganitong 1 point something to 1 to 1.6 ba yun o 1.8?
Yung parang scale na gagamitin po, sir?
Di ba may ganun kayo dun sa...
Opo, sir. Sa may motivation and perception po, pero sa academic performance wala po.
Bakit wala naman dun sa academic? Para naman initially, ano naman sila? Can you think of that? Pwede nyo i-adapt yung sa university para naman makita natin kung anong level sila. Di ba, yung sa university, may mga kung nasa university natin, may mga ratings 98 to 100%, yun yung 1.0, parang ganun ata yun yun yung excellent or outstanding. Tapos yung 95 to 97, tingnan nyo nga, in terms of percentage, kasi parang mababa. Kung mababa pa rin yung kanilang mga score after, sige, try nyo lang igan para naman, para sa lahat ng variables nyo, may description din.
May category. Opo, sige sir.
Oo.
Na lang po kung categories. Pwede na.
Oo. So yung mean nila, i-convert nyo lang siya into percentage.
Sige po sir.
Para yun ang basis kasi ng university natin, naka-percent sila Or, tama ba? Or naka-transmute pa? Na-transmute. Sige, raw score na lang ang basis nyo dyan, tapos divided by the total number.
Opo, sir. Ganun na lang po namin siya ito-percentage.
Oo.
Ganun po, sir.
Ganun yun na lang para yung mean percentage score nila, yung equivalent niya sa percentage. Kasi yung overall nila parang mababa pa rin na yung sa post-test.
Opo, sir.
Naka 50% ba? Tingnan nyo nga. Bakit parang
Yung pong mean nila, sir, ano po, 15.8 po, sir. Out of 30 items. So, halos, ano lang po siya, sir. Parang, kung 50%, halos 50% lang po siya, sir. Yung
kung 50%
overall,
pa kasi
yung overall mean po nila.
Oo. Actually, kung nagtatransmute ata sa ginagamit namin yan, yung 50% na score, equivalent siya sa 3.0. So, barely passing lang siya. Kung tama yung transmutation namin, parang 50% of the total score in the test is equivalent to 3.0. So, parang ganun lang siya. So, how would you, kasi ganun ang titingnan natin yung ano ba ang desired na improvement level natin. Kahit pa magturo naman tayo, meron tayong dinidesire na passing. So, sapat na ba yung barely passing? So, that's a question now. Kaya yung magnitude of the significant, magnitude of the effect size niya kung small lang siya. So, ano kaya ngayon ang although may statistical significance niya, pero mababa pa nga rin. Yun ang narinig ko rin comment ni Sir Ricardo kanina. Ngayon, what could be parang inconsistent kasi according to them, yung mga perceptions nila parang very positive naman ang kanilang mga perceptions, tapos yung kanilang attitudes, ano bang nangyari sa attitudes nila towards yung motivation pala nila rather. Very positive ang kanilang perception towards the use of Excel. So, ang tataas ng mga ratings, very positive. Pero kung titingnan nyo yung kanilang mga ratings, academic performance, so mababa pa rin But parang may hindi masyadong congruent, parang may disagreement dun sa kanilang scores at saka yung kanilang mga perceptions at saka yung motivation din. What do you think? What could be the reason for these seemingly contradictory?
Sir, sa pretest, yung sa pretest scores po, kasi nila, sir, nung pong tinignan namin, sobrang baba po talaga nila. Like, kahit ano po, yung min ano po nila, sir, mababa po talaga. Then, yun po, nahirapan po talaga sila, lalo na po yung section, po yung sa B po kami ano po, sir. Sa B po kami nag-conduct.
Ano din po kasi, sir, hindi po sila familiar sa topic po talaga, sir. Lalo na po sa amortization, sir, is wala po talaga silang idea what is amortization, and for the short time lang po na ituturo namin, parang hindi po nila siguro na-absorb lahat nung naturo po namin, sir, kasi po due to short time and hindi po sila ganun ka-familiar sa topic po.
Okay. Dapat sige, tingnan nyo rin how about the simple unwitty? Parang ang dali lang naman ng simple unwitty. O hindi pa rin?
Ano po, sir, nung una po, like, out of 7 items sa pre-test po, sir, parang yung min po nila 2.88 lang yan, sir. So, mababa din po, like, ano po kasi, like, yung mga questions po, medyo, ano po sila, nahirapan po sila.
Okay. Dun sa mga nature of questions. O sige, para magkaroon ito ng depth or depende sa nature of question, sabi mo, that could be a possible explanation for their low scores or low performance. Kahit na natapos na itong annuity, ito kasi na-discuss din naman yata sa klase nila, itong annuity. Tama ba? O hindi na? Inabot pa ba ng klase nila ito?
Yes po, sir. Ayun pong
annuity po sa klase nila.
Pero yung more on...
nag-intervention din pa rin kayo. Right?
Opo, sir.
Pero sa kanilang score, 4 out of, ilan bang items dito sa simple annuity? 7?
7 items po, sir.
Then, so 4 out of 7. So more than half naman siya.
Opo. Yung pong before, halos 2.88 lang po yung nila nung una. Nung before o yung pre-test po.
Sige. Ito nga yung percent niya para makita natin yung percentage increase nila sa mga ratings na mga scores na ito. So more than 50% naman doon sa post-test. Tapos dito sa annuity, general annuity, ilang items itong tinest nila?
9 items po, sir. Then 3. Opo, then yung min po nila nung before, 3.47 lang po, sir.
Okay, 9.
Opo.
So 7 at saka 9, so 16.
Opo.
Tapos, ang amortization,
14 items po, sir.
Marami itong amortization. Marami siya. Kasi 14 ang items ng amortization. So 16, pagka-combined na itong simple at saka general, so 16 at saka 14. Pero baka yung time, ito rin ang reality niya. Sabi nyo, amortization was no longer discussed in the class. Tama ba? It was not reached.
Opo, konti lang po yung mga may idea talaga.
Inabot pa ba itong amortization sa klase nila o hindi na?
Hindi na po, sir.
Hindi na. Also, baka kasi itong ito lang, baka kasi sa mga exam, sa o kayo sa mga board exam, baka kasi may ibigay na mga topics na ganito. So yun parang justification yun na you tried to cover it for the first time. Ngayon, ilan ba ang dun sa actual na time, nakita nyo naman yung syllabus or yung time, mga ilang hours ang intended time for this amortization topic. Tapos, ilan yung how many hours did you spend in teaching this? So, tingnan nyo yung time. Baka masyadong konti lang din yung time that was devoted for this topic during your intervention. So yun ang mga factor na tingnan ninyo. Tapos, yung mga nature of questions nga, yung mga level of cognitive process. So baka yung mga tinanong nyo, mahirap na rin. Tapos, face-to-face ba yung data gathering yun ng mga to?
Yes po, sir. Face-to-face.
So, face-to-face siya. So, how long? How many hours are allotted or were allotted for the students to answer them? Nakalagay ba? Yung time, baka kasi nagbilog-bilog na lang sila because they want to go home na. So, hula-hula na lang. Baka ganon, kasi multiple choice. Kaya ganon, kaya din yung ginawa nila.
Yung pong 1.5 hours po, sir, yung allotted time namin. Since meron din po silang calculator, sir. Analaw po namin yung
Oo.
calculator
Ah,
po,
so,
sir.
did they spend more than an hour? So yung ganun na yung seriousness in taking the test. Baka kasi they did not find it advantageous or beneficial for them, so they did not take it seriously. Kasi for the sake of answering, ganon ang ginawa nila. So tingnan niyo yung mga ganong factor. Baka yun ang mga nag-contribute, kaya hindi na nila masyadong dinibdib or sineryoso. That could be one reason, hindi natin sure. Kaya tingnan niyo yung mga possible explanations for this still low score. Kahit na, kasi ang mga target natin usually mga dapat 75% yun yung mastery sana na ma-attain nila. Pero parang mababa. Kahit na inulit nyo na itong simple annuity at saka general annuity. Yun pa rin. Even though your intervention was just a practice, kasi na-discuss na ito sa klase, pero 5, almost 6 out of 9, so mga 2/3. So it's just about 60% pa rin yung kanilang post-test score. So mababa pa rin siya. So bakit kaya? Sige, tingnan nyo yung analyze yan, yung mga question yan for cognitive process, yung sa interpretation nyo. Tingnan nyo, kaya nga pinapatali ko yung inyong mga data per item para tingnan ninyo sila yung kanilang mga responses, yung mga correct responses nila per item. So tapos tingnan nyo yung tanong, ba't siya mahirap pa rin? Baka kasi may mga tanong dyan na hindi pa rin masagot ng mga estudyante. Or baka naman may mga tanong that previously they answered these questions correctly in the pre-test, but during the post-test, the students got it wrong. Hindi natin sure. Kaya I'm interested with the tally of the individual item and individual student. Yun ang purpose. Doon kayo tumingin, doon sa mga ganong data para ma-explain nyo kung bakit mukhang hindi pa rin, tingnan natin, hindi pa rin ganun kataas sa kanilang mga post-test scores. Hindi pa rin umabot ng 70% yung accuracy. So it may not be, kasi action research ito you know that action research, its purpose is to improve student performance and to attain a certain level of mastery. So kung ganito pa rin ang kanilang mga score, sapat na ba? You need to reflect na. Reflection should come in after the instruction. So kung hindi pa rin tumaas sa expected mastery level, ang assumption natin, kasi teachers itong mga to, so dapat ang mastery level nila sa mga topic na ito is naman 70 or 75 dapat or 80 nga. Dapat ganon. Mataas dapat kasi magiging teachers sila. Hindi naman pwedeng kulang yung kanilang mga mastery. Ano pa kaya ngayon ang pwedeng gawin? Doon bang gumamit sila ng Excel during the class? Okay siya kasi kita ng mga estudyante. Pero pag nag-test na, wala naman na yatang Excel. Tama
Yes
ba? Wala na?
Yes.
Wala na po.
O, ayun. Baka, di ba maraming formulas dito sa mga to na kailangang i-memorize? Kailangan ba i-memorize yung mga formula? Mahahaba yung mga nakita ko dun sa inyong lesson plan.
Yes
Dapat
po, sir.
may
Pero
Opo.
wala
Pero
silang
may
index.
magkakamukha naman po, sir.
Magkakahawig naman.
Yes, sir.
Magkakamagkana.
konti lang yung, sir, yung parang
Ano kaya ang lumilitaw dito? Ibig kayang sabihin, kahit ano ang gawin nating intervention sa mga ganitong pero mataas naman ang kanilang parang motivation parang okay naman yung kanilang motivation, tapos okay rin naman yung kanilang mga perceptions, pero parang hindi siya nagsa-translate doon sa score. Hindi masyado. Sige, pwede nyo rin yung i-analyze yung correlation kasi mga variable din ng mga yan. Although sa mga study, may correlation naman ang ang emotional, yung motivation. Diba sabi nila kapag highly motivated ang estudyante, it may result to higher performance. Yung cognitive performance, yun ang sabi ng mga study. Yun din ba? Is it also true in your case for this student? So pwede niyong tingnan din yun. Baka lahat sila matataas ang mga motivation, pero hindi nagagaranty or parang hindi naman walang significant relationship itong dalawang variables na ito. Kasi okay na sila sa motivation, pero sa mga score, parang hindi. So parang may disconnection yung motivation at saka performance. Pakitingnan nyo nga yung mga data. May relationship yung dalawang variables na ito. And even their perceptions, matataas lahat din ang mga perceptions nila, very positive on the use of Excel. So ano pa kaya ang possible reason bakit medyo mababa pa rin? Hindi pa rin ganun kataas. Kasi ayun ang purpose natin, tumaas to a level of mastery dapat to a high level of proficiency. So, doon yung i-analyze din itong mga to para mas malalim yung inyong mga interpretation. Okay. And then, meron akong another comment on your perceptions, yung pinagkuhanan ninyo. So, at least ngayon yung source ninyo ng perception, verifiable, sabi nyo dun sa inyong mga results, may mga areas 4 areas, katulad ng motivation, may areas, parang may mga components siya.
Yes po.
Perception, may mga components din.
Parang dimensions po, sir.
Dimensions or components. So, may literature review ba kayo about perception?
Yes po, sir. Meron din po, sir.
So, meron kayo. Did you discuss this component na meron siyang feedback, kasi mga yun, parang problem solving? Tama ba?
Yes po, sir.
Ano yung mga components yun ng perception?
I-add na lang po namin siya, sir.
Oo. Nandun sa results nyo Pakisabi nyo nga, nakita ko sa results nyo. Will you mention the 4 components?
Ano po, sir? Bali yung pong interactive engagement, problem solving skills, interest, tsaka po feedback.
Okay. So may 4 components yan. So, sa inyong instrument, you also need to detail these components. Just like the motivation questionnaire. Tapos, may mga items din ng mga yan.
Yes po, sir.
May mga items din. Gawan nyo nga yan ng parang TOS din, kung ano yung mga items about each component para ilagay nyo na lang dun sa appendix kung ano yung mga components na yan, ano yung mga items. Na yung mga sinasabi ko kanina sa previous group, na yung perception, ito, puro positive ba ang mga perception? O meron din mga hindi? May mga
sir, may hindi po sir, may negative po sir. Meron po kami in-include ng hindi sir.
Hindi, dun sa mga scale, dun sa Likert scale na ginamit.
Ay, wala po, sir.
Wala siyang mga negative na statement.
Wala po.
Based po sa introduction po namin, sir, wala po ata. Wala po, sir.
Okay. So, puro positively stated yung mga perception, yung mga items.
Yes po, sir.
Yes po.
So, kung mababa lang ang mga kung nag-agree, dun lang sila negative yung kanilang mga perception.
Yes po. Sa may open-ended questions po kami nagkaroon po ng negative perceptions po.
Okay. Sige. Okay. So far, those are my comments and observations as well as suggestions. Ay, eto pa. Tinignan ko yung mga parang transcription. Parang tatlo lang bang in-interview nyo? Tatlo lang yung mga students.
Yes po sir, 3 students po sir lang. Then yung pong iba sir, nakaano po sila, nagsulat po sila sir, bali paper po sir.
So may sagot sila dun
sa paper po sir. At sila pong po sir. Yes po sir, sila pong lahat sir.
Students po sir, lahat po ng students nag-answer po through pen and paper. Then meron din po kaming in-interview na parang interview na one-on-one po talaga sir.
So nasaan yung mga sagot nila dun sa written?
So, meron po kaming papers, sir.
So nakakuha naman ng mga yan, naka-label na student 1 hanggang 17, yung mga yan.
Yes po.
Okay? So, maganda rin kapag inilagay nyo dyan dito sa mga results ninyo, kapag kino-quote nyo, nasa parenthesis kung ano siya, student 1, wala namang particular identification kung sino yung estudyante na yon, basta yung label lang para makita natin. Baka kasi ang mga puro lang nilagay nyo itong mga nakalagay dito sa inyong qualitative data, puro lang result ba ng interview o may result din dun sa written?
Result, both po sir, bali nag-base po kami sa both na written and then interview din po sir. Yung sa thematic.
Okay. Sige. So, paano nyo pinili yung tatlo dun sa in-interview nyo? Ano ang basis?
Nag-base po kami, sir, sa pretest po nila, sir, na yung pinaka mataas po, sir, and then pinakamababa, and then yung average sa kanila, sa pretest po. Purposive po siya, sir.
Ano yung mga basis? Nilagay nyo ba yung mga basis for selection?
Yes po, sir. Nasa yung pong scores po nila sa pretest nilagay po namin.
Score nila sa
pretest po, sir.
Based sa
pretest po. Pretest scores po.
So yun lang mga ano dapat ang score nila?
Yung po, sir, una sir, yung bali yung yung mataas po sir, pinakamataas, and then yung mababa, yung pinakamababa din po, and then yung sa middle, ano po, yung average na score po. Per proposal po kami sir. Para iba't ibang point of view po sir.
Sige. So, yun ang mga basis ninyo sa tatlo lang.
Yes,
Tapos, so paano interview? Individual ba o...
yes po sir, individual po siya sir. Individual
So,
po siya sir.
individual, ano siya, face-to-face or online?
Tapos, face-to-face po siya sir. Face-to-face po.
Face-to-face. And then, how did you collect the data?
Bali po sir, tinanscribe po manually po sir. Yung pong
May manual transcription.
Opo, manual transcription po sir. Then, ano po, yung tin-translate din na lang po namin siya sa English po sir.
So, pagkatapos yung kinuan, ano yun, ina-analyze, tapos nung may mga team kayo, pagkatapos nun, present nyo ba sa inyong mga in-interview?
Ano po, sir?
Yung may mga result na kayo ng teams,
yes po
may
sir.
analysis na kayo, o pagkatapos nun, did you present these to your interviewees? Did you gather their feedback? Or
Nag-base lang po kami sa feedback or sa recording po, and then hindi na po namin sila inano about sa thematic analysis po. Like, inano lang po namin na sinabi po namin na ito transcribe po namin.
Sige. So, have you included this information in your paper? Nakasulat ba sa inyong paper?
Yes po sir, yung selection po, and then yung pong
This process. Sige. I'll just have to read it again. Hindi ko kasi mabasa. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much po, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay daw ba?
Okay naman na po ata, sir. Or
Okay.
papasin po ulit ni sir. Sabi-
Sir Ezra, may feedback din po ba kayo, sir?
Wala naman na, sir.
Okay.
Halos na-cover na ni Sir Nelby.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po. So, yun. I-take note nyo yung mga feedback ni Sir Noel para matapos nyo na yan. Okay.
Thank you po sir.
Thank you po, sir. Have a great day po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.